Today I'm preparing my healthy meals for the week. For my lunches, I'm having brown rice with a ground turkey and zucchini spaghetti sauce. For my dinners, I'm having pork loin chop, Brussels sprouts, and roasted sweet potatoes. If you don't like Brussels sprouts, feel free to replace it with any vegetable of your choice. Let's start by preparing our lunches. Here's what you'll need. Start by boiling 5 cups of water over high heat. When the water comes to a boil, add 2 cups of brown rice. Give it a stir, cover with a lid, and let it simmer on low for 45 minutes. Let's get started on our sauce. I'm using vegetable broth to saute my vegetables. Add 2 tablespoons to a nonstick pan and warm on medium heat. I'm using zucchini and yellow squash in my sauce, but you can use any vegetable you like. Slice your zucchini into fourths and then chop into bite-sized pieces. You're going to do the same for the yellow squash. Add all your vegetables to the pan and toss to coat in the vegetable broth. If the vegetables look a little bit dry, go ahead and add another 2 tablespoons of broth. Cover your vegetables with a lid and simmer on medium to medium-high heat. Every few minutes, give your pan a shake just so that the vegetables don't burn. Once the vegetables have softened and have a little bit of color on them, transfer them to a separate bowl. We're going to use this same pan to brown our ground turkey. Now let's cook our ground turkey. Heat up 2 tablespoons of olive oil over medium-high heat. Add 1 pound of ground turkey to your hot pan. Break up the meat with a spatula. Once you have your turkey all broken up, go ahead and add any seasoning of your choice. I'm using Original Blend Mrs. Dash. Once the turkey is almost all brown, go ahead and add a can or a jar of your favorite spaghetti sauce. Just make sure to read the labels because a lot of sauces on the shelves are very high in sodium and calories. Toss in your vegetables and let simmer on medium-low heat until your rice is ready. After 45 minutes, the rice should be ready to add to our sauce. The directions on the back of the rice say to let the rice sit off the heat for a few minutes, and that's just so that it has more chance to soak up the liquid. But I'm going to skip that step just because our sauce has been reducing and it got pretty thick, and the liquid left over from the rice will help to thin it out. Combine the rice with the sauce by folding it in. You want to avoid stirring just because if you overwork the rice, it will get gummy. In my world, anything that contains tomato sauce gets sriracha sauce too. You can skip this step if you like, but I highly recommend don't skip it. It is so good. And that's it, you guys. Lunch is done. Each container gets 2 cups of our rice mixture. Now let's prepare our dinners. Here's what you'll need. Let's start with the sweet potatoes since they take the longest time to cook. Start by preheating your oven to 425 degrees. If you're leaving the skins on like me, you'll want to scrub them really well under cool running water. Drizzle 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil into a baking dish. You can use coconut oil if you'd like, but sadly I ran out. I'm cutting my sweet potatoes the exact same way I cut my zucchini. Cut it into fourths and then dice into bite-sized pieces. Toss to coat in the olive oil and sprinkle on your favorite seasoning. Bake in a 425 degree oven for about 40 to 45 minutes. Halfway into the cooking time, be sure to flip the potatoes so that they get brown on all sides. Now let's make our Brussels sprouts, or whichever vegetable you chose to make. Start by adding a 1/4 cup of vegetable broth to a pan over medium-high heat. Put the Brussels sprouts in a colander and rinse under cold running water. Cut off the stem end and slice each sprout into thin strips. The idea is to make shaved Brussels sprouts. I could use a mandolin, but I am terrified of mandolins, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my knife. It worked pretty good. If you don't like Brussels sprouts, keep in mind that you can use this technique with any vegetable. Once you get your sliced sprouts into the hot pan, go ahead and add another 1/4 cup of vegetable broth. Give them a good stir, cover with a lid, and cook over medium heat. Don't forget to shake the pan every few minutes. Now this part is optional. I like a little acidity in my Brussels sprouts. I'm using raw apple cider vinegar. Lemon juice also works really well. A little goes a long way. When they look like this, that means they're done. Cover with a lid and turn off the heat. Now let's start on our pork loin chops. These only take a couple of minutes to cook, so save them till the very last. Drizzle 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil into a pan over medium-high heat. And this is when my camera started being a jerk. The part that you didn't see is me trimming off the fat off of the edges of each chop. You don't have to trim it if you don't want to, I won't judge. Season one side with Mrs. Dash, or any seasoning of your choice. Place your chops into the hot pan, seasoned side down. Go ahead and sprinkle the other side with your favorite seasoning. Pork loin chops cook really fast. They only take about 2 minutes on each side. This is my secret to keep them from drying out. Drizzle on about a tablespoon of vegetable broth. It makes them so delicious. The chops are done when they feel firm, or you can slice one open, and if it's no longer pink, then you are good to go. This is what it looked like after I put all the dinners together, which of course you didn't get to see because my camera didn't record it. Keep in mind that your portions may be different. It depends on what your calorie limits are for the day. And there you have it, a week's worth of healthy lunches and healthy dinners. I put 3 lunches and 3 dinners in the fridge and put the rest in the freezer. For more videos like this, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching!